This study claims there are 4 hostile alien civilizations in our Milky Way. For years, we all have wondered if there's anyone apart from us in this gigantic universe that stretches to hundreds of billions of galaxies. I think it's safe to say that we have gathered sufficient evidence that attests to the existence of extraterrestrials. However, we do not know if they pose any kind of threat to Earth and its dwellers. According to new research, there might be about 4 vicious alien civilizations in the Milky Way that have learned interstellar travel. A recent paper by Alberto Caballero, a doctoral student in conflict resolution at the University of Vigo in Spain, claims that there are millions of livable planets in the Milky Way, and an estimated 4 of them are occupied by extraterrestrial civilizations that could possibly attack Earth. The paper is yet to be peer-reviewed. Caballero was also the author of a separate study that tried to explore where the famous WOW signal came from, which was published in Cambridge University's peer-reviewed International Journal of Astrobiology. Astronomers wonder about the benefit of the first interstellar radio message sent into deep space in 1974 by the Arecibo telescope. They say that the 19 light-years away GJ273b, with an approximately 85% resemblance to Earth, remains under consideration of being the only potentially habitable exoplanet. The message sent in 1974 will reach the exoplanet in 2029, and any response to Earth would be received sometime in 2041. In his paper, he discussed that the problem is that the message only contained music and a scientific tutorial to decode it. He debated that it was a symbolic interstellar message, and therefore it is unlikely to be received and decrypted by any civilization, provided that it exists in the first place. In this paper, Caballero talks about the odds of humans contacting a hostile alien civilization that has the capabilities of taking over Earth. He began by taking a glimpse back at human history before turning to the stars to seek answers. Caballero, with this paper, tries to approximate the invasion of malicious alien civilizations by calculating the probability of humans attacking a populated exoplanet, a planet orbiting a star that is outside the solar system. Caballero arrived at this conclusion by calculating and looking over various historical facts and figures. He counted the number of countries that raided other countries between the years 1915 and 2022. He found out that 51 out of 195 countries of the world have partaken in some sort of invasion. He then evaluated the chance of each country undertaking an attack based on its percentage of global military spending. He assessed the probability of each country starting a raid to the total number of countries in the world, reaching the current human probability of invasion of an extraterrestrial civilization, as he described it. After calculating the weighted probabilities of the incursion of each country, the gauged odds of invasion by a Type 0 civilization is 0.026%. Earth is classified as a Type 0 civilization because humanity has not yet been able to make use of all its energy, and therefore derives its power entirely from raw materials. Moreover, we are still incapable of carrying out interstellar travel. Using a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological progress, known as the Kardashev scale, Caballero computed the contemporary rates of technological advancement. He wrote that the frequency of invasions has lowered to 1.15% in the last 50 years, while the world energy utilization has been growing constantly at the rate of 2.24%. Caballero unraveled that we can configure past data to determine whether a much more developed civilization could be more or less likely to take over our planet rather than humans invading their planet. He further added that humanity is expected to become a Type 1 civilization with average global consumption of 259.5 years, and such a civilization has an estimated probability of 0.0014% invading another one. He declared that the chances of an adversarial alien nation attacking Earth are very low, and henceforth the probability of extraterrestrial invasion by a civilization whose planet we message is around 2 orders of magnitude lower than the probability of a planet-killer asteroid collision. Caballero clarified that 0.22 Type 1 civilizations are capable of nearby interstellar travel, and 4.42 civilizations if all of them were like humanity, and humanity isn't even Type 0 yet. He explained that he didn't mention the 4.42 civilizations in his paper for 2 reasons. Firstly, because we don't know whether all the civilizations in the galaxy are like us, that is, below Type 0. And secondly, because a civilization like us would probably not pose a threat to another one, since we don't have the technology to travel to their planet. He stated that we will reach that technology once we become a Type 1. Caballero added that the paper is based only on life as it is known. He said that we are not aware of the minds of extraterrestrials as yet, and they may have a brain with a different chemical composition. They might not have empathy, or they might have more psychopathological behaviors. He cleared up that since we do not know what the minds of aliens are like, he found this way to do the study to have plenty of limitations. This is not the most refined science, and Caballero claims his paper to be imperfect, but he is still hoping that by this study, facts, and numbers, he might be able to kickstart the discussion that whether it is dangerous to send messages into space or not. Scientists intend to send the second radio message into space that would contain simple principles for communication, basic mathematical concepts, physics formulas, constituents of DNA, along with information about humans, the Earth, and a return address if someone would like to reciprocate. The teams of researchers say that the message will comprise digitized depictions of the solar system, the Earth's surface, and the human form. Along with that, they will dispatch an invitation so that any receiving intelligence, if there's any, would be able to respond.